Well, in Florida, you can't just walk from here to here and just relax. You have to be constantly vigilant and aware of things that can hurt you. You have to always be hyper aware because if not, that's your life, you know?
I was 8 months pregnant and I was helping with an enforcement operation crossing the crosswalk, and driver failed to yield to me, and the law enforcement pulled them over and they said, "Did you not see that pregnant woman in the crosswalk?" And the driver said, "I was running late to work."
As I was crossing the street, I was hit by a van, seriously injured. But I was alive. I mean, that could have easily have killed me.
The car hit me, hit my husband. I landed 30 feet probably in front of him. I was in the hospital for 12 days, lost 13 pounds. Had a T12 spinal fracture, and I had a 5 vertebra spinal fusion.
Growing up here in Orlando, I've had several situations where friends have been hit by cars. Some have survived, some have not. I myself have been hit by a car, and even my son. When I was 11 years old, there used to be an apartment complex right at the end of this road, but right a little beyond that is Orange and Michigan. My friend, whose name was Danny, he was crossing the road, and he was at the middle 2 lines at the crosswalk, and there was somebody who was putting on their lipstick as they were turning and hit him and killed him. It's crazy because once things like that are cleaned up, the conditions don't change, but how many people has that happened to? How many Dannys have there been? How many hundreds of lives or thousands, have been changed forever?
This is a serious problem. It has to be addressed. And there has got to be people dedicated toward the cause.
As the report details, Florida is one of the most dangerous states when it comes to pedestrian safety, and this has been consistent. So that result doesn't actually surprise me, but it definitely emphasizes the need for action.
I polled an audience of about 2,500 engineers when I was the secretary in Southwest Florida, and I asked them, how many of you care about safety? All 2,500 hands went up. When I asked them, how many of you have done after evaluations of your projects to see how they perform from a safety standpoint, less than 12 people raised their hands.
Our communities are spread fairly far apart. And so, auto travel is necessitated. We don't have the most robust public transportation system either. And so more miles traveled, more people on the roads, increases the likelihood of crashes with serious injuries or fatalities.
We prioritize those that drive and drive quickly, and so those that walk and bike or can't even get across the side of the road, we don't give them the opportunity to. What are the reasons why people need to get from one side of the road to the other? It could be a bus stop. It could be that they live in an apartment complex and need to get across the street to the grocery store. So there's many different reasons why people choose to cross the street mid-block. And often people choose to do this because they don't want to walk a quarter of a mile or a half a mile down to the nearest signalized intersection.
So when you have wide multi-lane roadways, you end up with high speed and large signal spacings, and so it makes it almost impossible for pedestrians to cross safely.
So imagine a roadway is 100 feet wide, and we give people that walk, bike, and roll 5 feet, generally, on each side of the roadway for them to move, right, for their transportation needs. The rest of that road, 90 feet, are dedicated to one mode of transportation, and that is the vehicle.
It essentially makes pedestrians and cyclists feel that they're not welcome, that this isn't for you. You need to stay out of our way. Yeah, this is dangerous for you because you're not supposed to be here. I feel like with the challenges pedestrians face, there are so many actionable steps that we can take to help just mitigate any hazards. It is putting bollards, it is making safe sidewalks, it is putting lit up crosswalks. It feels accomplishable. It feels like there's so much that needs to be done, but it still feels like we can do it, so we need to do it.
I've seen some real lows, but the wind is in our sails. I feel so optimistic about what's to come in the future. I'm glad to be a part of it.